Admiral's Log. As we navigate the currents of victory and progress, 1944 unfolds with a reminder that even amidst triumph, the shadow of complacency and recklessness can cast a pall over our endeavors. The United States Navy, having carved a path of triumph, now faces a challenge born of its own success. Some captains, emboldened by the string of victories we've savored, have allowed audacity to temper their judgment, a course of action fraught with danger. A particularly striking instance emerges from the helm of the USS Challenger. The captain's boldness during an attack upon a French task force, while showcasing a courage that is admirable, veered dangerously close to recklessness. The resulting severe damage to the Challenger serves as a stark reminder that even amidst the heady exhilaration of battle, prudence must remain our steadfast companion. We have to temper our valor with wisdom, and ensure that the echoes of triumph are not dimmed by the shadows of unnecessary risk. Today's video is sponsored by the Block Zone. If you want to do something a little different than watch PC games, or play them yourself of course, you can for example build the Bismarck or the Iowa, such as right here. I've done a couple of projects already. I really enjoy them. It's nice and relaxing for me, sometimes listening with a podcast in the back, sometimes having a video on. One of the projects that I have already made is the Humvee. You can see it over here. And Blockzone even sent me another project to try out, and that is a new car, which is very, very good news because my son loves this stuff. So here's my son and me building the car. This is Quinn. Yes, he's grown up potentially quite a bit since you last saw him. Really love to spend time with him like this, even though he's just putting his wheels on one single strip. He's still learning. Once you picked out a project, be sure to add code STEALTH as a discount code. It's going to give you a 10% discount, which can add up quite a bit. So, get to building. Blockzone link down below. Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to episode 16. We find ourselves next to another French colony, and the French haven't been defending it very well. So, that leads me to a task force attacking an undefended port. Or at least, that's what we thought. It's not as undefended as I hoped. Because the battlecruiser Espérance de Dieu is out here. I don't quite understand how it's a Danzig class battlecruiser. That sounds distinctly un-French. Something else that has me a little puzzled is that this battlecruiser displaces 64,000 tons. That is a lot of tonnage. The ship is very quick at 38.8 knots, which explains its price tag of 609 million. This is not a cheap battlecruiser. I have battlecruisers here, they cost 553. I got battleships of the North Carolina class in the Galaxy. They're cheaper than the battlecruisers, because this is almost 300 million, this is almost 500. This battlecruiser, price-wise, dwarfs all of my ships. Not combined, of course, but still. Interestingly, its armament is only 6 13-inch guns, so I'm very interested to see how this thing fights. I am almost sad to have to send it to the bottom, because it is such a nice, fast craft. If I could just board it and make it my own, maybe rearm it, that would be phenomenal. Sadly, we cannot. As for firepower, I have plenty, and it's all going off. Look at all that. All these ships just coming in one by one, ready and eager to fight. And unfortunately for the French, there's a bunch of convoy ships in there. I mean, we are attacking a port, after all. So the convoy ships are going to be finding themselves on the wrong side of 16-inch guns. Now, let's have the battle cruisers as a separate div. Very good. We're already getting some damage in on the battle cruiser. Interesting design. It's an ABC format, which isn't entirely unusual. Oh, sorry, it's an ABX. It's not entirely unusual. It's just fairly irregular for the French, because they tend to have a lot of their firepower on the bow. And it does seem like the AI either doesn't quite know how to use this battle cruiser, or it doesn't quite seem interested in a fight. Ooh. Surprisingly, though, the battlecruiser seems to be the first to leave the scene. Whereas, ideally, of course, the battlecruiser would fight for as long as possible, making sure that the convoy at least has some chance to get out. Although, realistically, of course, that will not happen. These guys are not going to make it out alive. Battleships are currently working on battlecruiser, I guess? Oh yeah, they don't know what it is. That's the deal. Okay, that's the convoy. The convoy is going to go down very quick. You know what? This French battlecruiser can actually outrun me by 11 knots on the battlecruisers. The battleships are doing a little better. Oh, sorry, this is the battlecruiser. Battlecruisers are 33 knots. We're going to have to focus fire on this thing and try and slow it down. Did I murder that destroyer? No. It's convoy ships, people. It's not warships. But they're not entirely harmless, these convoy ships, because they do have guns. They got guns installed. Almost the entire convoy has been murdered. Now, of course, this battle was going to go entirely my way. Simply because of all the firepower that I have here. I'm showing this battle because I'm very interested in how this French guy performs. Unfortunately, like, it doesn't. Also, take note of the secondaries that it has. It has 12 6-inchers, and they're all on the bow. Like, over there. Giving the ship pretty formidable defense against light cruisers, destroyers, and potentially heavy cruisers, depending on how well they're armored. Unfortunately, running away like this means they're of no use. Only the stern battery is useful. And even that you can question, because this ship has 50% damage instability. So her accuracy is dwindling very quickly. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be surprised if mine is too. Simply because she's outracing me. Getting 11%-ish. 67% here, but we're fighting something else. You're trying to hit the DD, aren't you? Yeah. That is an interesting use of the guns in the Pennsylvanias. Like, you got half their firepower, the big side mounts engaging the battleship. The mains engaging a transport? No. Really? I mean, there is a transport alive. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely engaging two different targets. Look at how the guns are oriented. This is probably a nightmare for the range finding. Because as far as I can tell, the ship really only has one central rangefinder. Did that actually hurt? Barely. The ship only has one central rangefinder, so arguably it doesn't matter that much if you're just facing one target. If you're fighting two... Yeah, that BC is definitely running. Very, very, very quickly. Oh, you're firing 15 inchers against a transport? I'm surprised it didn't disintegrate on that. We overpenned it with high explosive. Because of course we did. Now, all the guns on that. This is another transport. The DD is also running. Commandant Rivière. Lots of torpedo launchers on the stern. Could be a dangerous unit to face. Oh, she's coming around. Are you going to try and defeat... Sorry, not defeat. Defend your own... Ooh, you launched your torpedoes. Sneaky, sneaky. Did you see that? They just went on a full turn. Dropping their torpedoes in the water. And now they're just going to try and make it out of there. Sneaky, sneaky. Look deep. No, we're good. As long as the battle cruisers decide to move out of the way, we should be okay. Yeah, we should be okay. The real question is, can we catch this guy before they leave? They've lost a lot of health. I still need more identification before I'm able to tell you how fast it's running. Probably doing considerable damage, like what, 28 knots at this point? Which means she's not going to make it out of here. Oh, look at this. It's a very interesting design. And I'm sorry to have to take it out. I really do apologize. Come on, how fast are you? 28 knots. Get your dropping speed. She's still largely intact. She hasn't taken any engine damage. Which is surprising, actually. You're running diesels. Gear turbines too. With an Aux-3 engine. That might explain it partially. Lots of their crew members have died. 26 knots, 26-1. I think the Pennsylvanias, I mean, they're cheaper. They're slower, to be sure. But normally you just outrun, but you cannot outshoot with a battlecruiser. Unfortunately for the Espérance, that didn't quite work out. It did not quite work out. She couldn't outrun. Because she had so many shells coming in that, well, she already started taking damage. There she goes. And because of that, there was no way for her to make it out of there. The DD is going to face a similar fate. I don't find the DD to be particularly interesting. That was bloody murder. I don't find them to be particularly interesting. Yeah, it's an okay ship. I mean, sure. But it's not as extraordinary as the Espérance. The French, however, have a lot more ships. And so do the Italians. On the strategic map, I have spotted an Italian battle group, which I believe had 10 battleships in its formation. So it's a really dangerous adversary. I am patrolling, if you will, the Strait of Gibraltar. Holy mother of God. Okay, we're gonna do this first. I am fighting Chile. Oh, they've got no fewer than 3 Catina. Sure. These guys, again, were involved in some sort of overthrow plot. So the game said, would you like to invade? And I said, sure. Because they only needed like 5,000 tons to take over this little island. It seems like the Chileans don't take kindly to that. They've sent 3 of their Catina, well, all the Catina. That's 9 8-inch guns on a CL. That puts even my light cruisers to shame. These are both steam runners, Springfield and Denver. And then there's their destroyers. That's 9 torpedo launchers, that's 11 torpedo launchers. Oh boy. We're going to be doing so much dodging of torpedoes. We're jumping right into the action. 19 kilometers out. Show me these light cruisers of theirs. How the hell is that still a light cruiser? It's like a poorly armored heavy cruiser. These things are ridiculously well armed. This is scary. I have no idea if my cruisers will be able to take this on. Because I'm outgunned and outnumbered. I think my best hope is to take out their CLs first. And just tough it out, basically. Hope that armor is sufficient to allow for the survival of my ships. I can throw torpedoes at them. I'm going to have a pretty close look at the torpedoes have been detected reports. HE only, boys. Yeah, they're running out of torpedo launchers, or torpedo tubes. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Somebody got absolutely shafted by their friends. This thing took 6 torpedoes? Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, What, and like 2 duds? You poor thing, you didn't deserve that. Maybe it's some psychological warfare tactic that they're using right now. Like, we're so crazy, we'll torpedo our own ships. That's how dangerous we are. Look at the Denver drift. I don't know what sort of tactic these guys are using. Put the 5-inchers to work. Denver is acting like it's on rails or something. Yeah, she finally goes down. Getting some damage in on those CLs. The CL somehow has to pay for its ability to carry those 9 8-inchers. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if it turns out that those things don't have a lot of armor on them. Because you're paying for those things one way or another. Either you're paying for them through having less speed, you're paying for them by having less armor, because they sure carry a lot of guns. They got not only those 8 9-inchers, but they also got 15 4-inchers and a bunch of 2.5s. So they got no shortage of firepower. But how did they pay the bill? That's what I want to know. Smoke yourself up. Don't know if it's going to really be helpful, but every little bit could be a deciding factor here. Let's come around again. Sakalav. Alright, you got torpedo launchers and they're standing by. A couple of sneaky boys, minus 48% detection. Damage, 13,000. Almost 14. That's yikes level of damage. Put the mains on that with AP. APs don't do much. So we should be able to use AP now. And pen that belt. There you go. Kill this thing before it decides to drop its very deadly payload. It's a cheap DD. Well, not that cheap actually, 40 million. There she goes. Alright. The Sirocco. You guys have torpedoes. You've used them. This is the murderous one. The Magon or Megan. I think something like Magon, because they're probably originally French. Launched its torpedoes directly into the friendly. What are we trying to hit? CL? No. Target the Sirocco. Sirocco appears to be moving very slowly. That makes her an excellent target. 25 knots, yeah. 30 knots, 29 knots, 28. For DD, that's slow. A slow DD is a dead DD. You don't slow down. Make yourself as hard to hit as possible, or you function as some sort of torpedo bomber. In this case, you could even argue that Sirocco has no business being here, because she already launched her torpedoes as well. We appear to have some accuracy issues. Considering the CLs appear to be out of range. No, they are in range. Yeah, they're firing at me with a 0.4% chance to hit. I'm going to slow down. Give my guns a bit of time to work against the DDs. Hopefully blinding them. But I kind of doubt it. Okay, so what did these guys pay with? They paid with some armor. At least it's not a 6-inch belt. My DDs have a 6-inch... Sorry, my CLs have a 6-inch belt. It's gear turbines 2. Aux 3, shaft 4. Barbette 5. That's a really high-end barbette. Citadel 4, anti-flood 3. Capped ballistic HE shells. What? Holy shit. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by that. Electrical 2 turrets. 22-inch fast torpedoes with a reduced complement. Coincidence 3 rangefinder. Yet generation 3 radar. Interesting choice of combination. Here. The other DD is also moving very slowly. Nope, speeding up now. Oh, never mind. That was 11k? 9k, and yeah. So you just lost a 3-incher. You're about to lose the rest of the ship too. Switch. As always, what the AI should have done is charge. You don't sit around when you got a couple of light cruisers gunning you down. You send every single ship forward, and you hope that you dump enough torpedoes into the water to make the waters so absolutely uninhabitable that you're gonna blow those destroyers, my light cruisers out of the water. By going at me one by one, almost single file, they're making it very easy just to pick them off. There she goes. And I don't need a full kill. I just need these things to get slowed down. Because that's when I dictate what the range is going to be, how the battle is going to progress, exactly who can attack me. There goes the Ouragan. Bouclier. Terrible. Somebody ran out of torpedoes. You ran out of torps. Oh, really? That's not what I want to see. The Katina group is back on point. Do you have reduced ammo for something? Ammo torps reduced. Yes. Shells ammo reduced. Okay. Standard ratio main shells. So you already expended all your HE? I find that pretty hard to believe. Come round. Put those secondaries on the Ouragan. Oh, we're getting some good damage in on the Katina. Which is surprising, because I don't expect a lot from these AP shells. 10 kilometers out, we can pen 6 inches, which, yeah. In case of these ships. I mean, they got a 3-inch forebelt. Maybe 4.5, but that'll be it. Okay, I'm gonna disregard the Katina, the Ouragan as a threat. I'm gonna consider the Katinas to be a threat. You still have some shells, you still have some shells. After their 8s potentially run out, they're gonna be down to 4-inch. As well as very fast torpedoes. 66 knots. Ooh, flooding on the Denver. Switch to HE. Denver, fix that. Because that could be the demise of the Denver. Denver has contained the flooding. I can still do something about it. Running at about 28 knots. Accuracy 4%? Wow. 9%. Pretty bad over. Yeah, this is not good. It does look like some of the Chilean cruisers are falling back. Bit weird they all got the same name. How expensive are these? 81 mil. Yeah. Displacement 8,000 tons. My ships are about 2,500 tons bigger. But they actually got rangefinders that work. As opposed to these ships. 12.5. We're going to focus on the lead Katina. I'm also trying to spread out the damage so that they all get their own damage and stability factor, reducing their accuracy. I feel a lot more comfortable if these things don't fire very accurately. How many rounds they got left? About 300. Okay, that's survivable. I still have about 200 and change. And that's not counting the AP shells. Crew loss. Cramped quarters. That's a mistake. With cramped quarters, you start running through crew pretty quick. And then your damage control starts going down. You can already see it happening. Control 88.6. Their ability to control the ship, and more importantly control the damage, is going down. Switch to AP shells. Destroy the secondary, that's also nice to see. Not sure what these guys are up to. Because right now, it's a pretty straightforward divide and conquer. Again, if they keep just single filing, if they keep coming at me one by one, easy. What the game really needs is the AI overhaul that I think not only I, but also other content creators have been clamoring for. And on top of that, or if that's not possible, some mod that's going to make the AI a lot smarter. Because the AI keeps holding the game back. If these cruisers and destroyers would have worked together, I mean, if I'd been given this whole fleet, I would have taken out the steam runners. I would have lost ships, sure. I would have taken damage, absolutely. But I would not be in the condition or the situation where these guys are currently at. Which is pretty laughable considering the amount of firepower that they are supposedly possessing. Oh. I did see the torpedo launch warning, but I wasn't exactly expecting these. I can do that again. Springfield, 136 rounds, 190 on Denver. Got inbound and outbound torpedoes all over the place. Oh, we're gonna have to split these guys up. I need a mission kill on one of these guys. I think this one's gonna go down first. What? My 5 inches ran out? Crap. Five inches fire so often that it's hard to keep them supplied. There she goes, that's one. Next is the other one, the half-drowned one. Can we expect more torpedoes? Got 118 rounds left. Torpedoes out. Incoming torpedo on Denver. Turn. I know I'm knife fighting, but these guys don't have a whole lot of firepower left. And on top of that, my 4-inchers are going to be increasingly deadly the closer we get. So that's why I'm banking on close range fighting now. I don't think we'll be able to get these DDs. Like the Étendard, she's full health. Yeah, she doesn't have any torpedoes left, but a 4-inch gun, depending on what you stock it with, this is dangerous for me. A 5-inch shell, that can probably pen my... Well, it can't pen much. But it's still not something I would easily disregard. Good damage. 38% crew lost. We might be able to force this ship to surrender. That would work for me. 38.5. 39.2. $40-ish. Boom. Another flooding. Inbound torpedo. Are you gonna actually collide? Yes. She also pumped her own torpedo. Oh, look at that turn. Ooh. That was an impressive turn. Now we destroyed all the torpedo launchers. Better late than never. We have no torps left. No, nothing. Okay, good old guns then. There she goes. The other one is surrendered. So it's going to be down to Denver and Springfield to take on the third and final light cruiser. Which probably recognized what is going on. Turns tail and runs. She still carries torpedoes. One on the stern. 5 tubes per side? Yikes. Got 120 on Denver, 60 on Springfield. I'm running out of ammo. Denver, you got incoming. It's probably 1 from her stern. Correct. Oh, the Commandant Bory is still here. What are you trying to torp? Denver. Yeah, but Denver's over there. She should have been trying to torp the incoming Springfield. She's taking a ton of damage. 40% crew lost. 6% structural. Well, place your bets. It's going to be... It's not going to be flooding. This is going to get potentially a little tight. Oh, we're fine. Nice little surprise from that DD. Gotta make sure they don't do that again. Springfield. Again, the Steam Runner classes just pull through, but it's not strictly due to how good this ship is. It's mostly due to the AI. They had so much firepower that they could have thrown my way. Just charge everything, especially if you got some slower ships like the Commandant Boris, but also some faster ships like the Katina. I can only do 36 knots. Some of these, probably like the Étendard, these can do almost 41 knots. That is extremely difficult for me to catch. Especially if these things swarm me and try to rush me before I'm able to take them down. I don't think I'll be able to catch this one. Yeah. Retreat. Our job here is done. She turns around and heads for safer waters. Her job done, her hull slightly scorched here and there. Her crew probably pretty tired. And even lost a few crew members there. But I think the Chilean Navy is largely eliminated. Look at that. And that 5.5k victory points goes towards the tally that I have against the French, because they are an ally of the French. So this means we are going to be facing, well, at least during negotiations, a very hefty advantage over the French. We have a ton of victory points. In other news, I gained control of northern Norway after these guys were part and parcel to some sort of terrorist plot. So now I have the port of Narvik, as well as the port of Tromsø. And, well, I'm not short on naval supply stations in Europe at this point. Also having northern Finland as well as Lithuania. I have options. Interestingly, hold on, where are the Italians? 12 heavies? 2 destroyers, 10 heavy cruisers. Where is the Italian Navy? Because there was a very deadly battle group out there. The Italians, they got 7 battleships and 4 battle cruisers. There's 1 battleship there. There's 1 battleship there. I think they dispersed their fleet. How are they funding this whole operation? They got 132 ships, 69 heavy cruisers? You got 1.9 million tons. And I have 1.5 million. So I have less tonnage than they do. Probably still a bit more chance to win. Alright guys, let's check on the invasions. We have 2 going on. 1 doing so and so in the eastern side of the good gentleman over here, the French. And the other one is Easter Island. That is where I have the 2 light cruisers that you just saw in action. And I should be able to take this port, but right now, chance to succeed isn't that great yet. So we'll just have to wait and see how we're going to get on. And potentially, eventually go to peace with the French so I can focus more on the Italians. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you soon for more videos.